he put before us life and death, blessings and curses. Let's get there. Deuteronomy 28:1. I'm going to prove to you that the Bible is for you, you Israelites.
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
So if we listen to what the Most High God is saying, go ahead.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high, above all nations on the earth.
He said if we listen to him, follow his commandments, kept his commandments on a daily, that what?
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high, above all nations on the earth.
Above all nations on the face of the earth. And at this time that we living in, are we above all nations? Ask yourself that.
Bring it up.
Are we above all nations? Are we on high? Are we in rulership? Do these people respect you when you walk down the street? Do they give you the utmost respect at your job, at home, while you walk down the street? No, they look at you and laugh. In an astonishment, that's a curse. So obviously we did not keep his commandments. Let's get that Deuteronomy 28:15, I mean.
Deuteronomy 28:15.
Like I said before, we were given choices in life. Life is about choices. The Most High said if we keep his commandments, we'll be blessed. If not, we'll be cursed. Let's get that.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Meaning, if you will not listen, go ahead.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
To do some of them?
To do all his commandments and his statutes.
The ones that I want?
All his commandments and statutes.
So if we didn't listen and keep his commandments, what will happen?
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
All these what?
Curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses. Majority of our people would not read the Bible. So if we don't read, we don't know that it's curses in the Bible. All we think a curse is something that we see on TV. A witch putting a cat in the pot with chicken blood, throwing seeds in it.
Bring it up.
Speaking all these enchantments, that's what we think a curse is. Voodoo dolls. No, the Most High said if we did not listen to his commandments, he was going to curse his people. It's that simple. You don't believe me? We're going to bring out some of the curses and see, do they align with the Israelites? Because he said in Deuteronomy 28:46 that the curses would identify his people. I can't make this up. Let's get Deuteronomy 28:46 first.
Deuteronomy chapter 28:46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
Talking about these curses now.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
What does a sign do? Identify. Just like the sign on top of the bus station. It lets you know this is a bus station.
Right.
This is where you catch the bus. Got a sign that say taste the feeling. This is for concession. Come buy drinks, buy you something to eat. A sign identifies. It lets you know what's going on. Read it again.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So we just had to clear that up to let you know what we about to go bring out in these curses. Because they were going to be upon the Israelites, God's chosen people, the disobedient individuals who did not keep his commandments. They were going to be cursed. Let's get some of them curses. Deuteronomy 28:16.
Deuteronomy chapter 28:16. Cursed shalt thou be in this city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
All around the U.S., all around the world. In any city, you're going to see the Israelites struggling. As a nation, as a whole. Struggling. They in the hoods, they in the projects, they in the worst living conditions. Not because we can't do better, but because that's a curse. The Most High did that. That should be something to jog your memory, something to make you think, something to make you research to find out, is that true? Anywhere I go in the world, I'm going to see Israelites in the worst conditions. How is that possible when you don't see no other nation on the planet living like that? The East Indian ain't living in the hood. The Japanese ain't in the hood. The Chinese ain't in the hood. The Hawaiians ain't in the hood. So-called white man ain't in the hood. Why is it only the so-called black man, Hispanic, and Indian? And you say, how the Indian? Where do you see them at? On reservations, pieces of land, struggling to survive. And if you seen one, you probably wouldn't even recognize it. Hispanics, where they living at? We all in the worst conditions because we all disobedient. Now we to the point we don't even know that we being disobedient. That's why we continue to fall further and further in society. Give me another curse.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
You say you're going to become an astonishment. You say, what's an astonishment? Something that's shocking, amazing, especially to the other nations. Why is that? Because at one point in time, you was whooping everybody's ass on the planet as a nation. If you read the book of Joshua, we knocked down 31 kingdoms on the way to the promised land. Over 30 kingdoms fell at our feet because the Most High was working with us. So the whole earth feared the Israelites. And what's the astonishment? The fact that we on bottom and we don't know that we were great. We on the bottom thinking that life is good when we struggle check to check. If we was on top, it would be no such thing as living check to check.
Right.
The Bible say the people mourn when the wicked are in rulership. And I see our people mourning day in and day out. They say when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. You got that? I got that. He said we will be in astonishment. Shocking. Damn, look at these folks. Look at these Israelites. They the greatest thing walking on the planet, and they don't even know it anymore. Even though they can see it with their own eyes. They run faster, jump higher, stronger, smarter, best looking, best at everything, invented everything. But they don't even realize it. They think the thing about life is getting up and grinding, go get something shiny.
What?
Go buy some Christmas gifts. Please their children, put the woman on top. They all out of order. Look at them, that's an astonishment. Read that again.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
An astonishment, a proverb. What's a proverb? A wise saying. They got a whole book in the Bible called Proverbs, and everybody knows that that's wisdom. It said you will become a proverb, meaning they don't ever show up on time. If you want to have a party or a get-together, plan it 30 minutes ahead or tell them to show up 30 minutes after it's originally supposed to start for them to show up on time. Or if you want to hide some information from the Israelites, put it in a book.
Right.
When I hide it from a nigga, put it in a book. That's a proverb, a wise saying. And it's true. A byword. What's a byword? That's a name given to you that is not given by God. So now you refer to yourself as an African American, which is foolish because that term originated in the 80s.
Bring it up.
A Negro, a black, Hispanic, or Indian. And we don't even know what these words mean. There's no land of black. We can't travel back to black.
Bring it up.
We can't travel back to Negro. We can't travel back to Latino, Hispanic land, Indian land. No. Where did God call you? A child of God, an Israelite, a prince with power of God, an Israelite, the greatest thing walking the planet. What I said, you don't know who you are, so that's why we out here. We ain't out here tooting our own horn. We don't think we better than y'all. We just woke up, humbled ourselves down to who we are and read.
Bring it up.
We found our power. Now that we found our power, we trying to give it to you, build you up, back to who you were. Gods and kings on this earth, not niggas and spicks. The Bible say when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. So evidently the wicked must be in rulership. If we marching and protesting in the streets, let's get there.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule,
When the who?
but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Everybody mourning because the wicked is in rulership. And as soon as we as a nation of people come back to who we are and start keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments, that's when the table flips. That's when we come back to rulership. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Y'all want to hear about the word? Y'all got some questions? All right. We out for one reason, for y'all, for our people, to wake them up, to give them the power, the knowledge that they need. Money is not going to do it. Money ain't what got us in this predicament. It's your lack of knowledge. We have been destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Let me get Hosea 4 and 6. We have been destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Keep them curses though. We don't know who we are for one reason, because the Most High took that from us for being disobedient. So our whole purpose, hey bro, get out of the street and come to bus, man. Yes sir, that's why we out here. We are better than what we are, my people. We are better than this. Aren't you tired of seeing your people struggle? Why don't we say anything? Why we ain't doing nothing? You got that?
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Listen what the Most High God says about you.
My people,
About our people. Go ahead.
my people are destroyed for
Who?
lack of
Who
my,
people?
my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
The Most High is speaking to the Israelites. Read it again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge,
Rejected knowledge, meaning these commandments.
I will also reject thee.
He said, since you don't want to listen to me, damn you, I'm not going to listen to you. That's why when we sit around and pray on a daily and still breaking his laws, he ain't listening. We reject knowledge. Oh, I pray to the Most High, I pray to him, we got a relationship. No, you don't. If you had a relationship, you would know what he requires of you. And that's why we out here. We out here because we breaking God's commandments. Give me another curse to identify the Israelites.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
When did that happen? Is it still happening? Can you read?
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
We can't make this up. These are real curses. The Most High said for breaking his commandments, you will be cursed. Your sons and daughters shall be given to another people. And you won't have no might in your hand to get them back. That's your DHR, child support services.
Right.
But it actually started in slavery. You have a child, raise him till he's 3, 4, 5 years old, and your master come grab that child and sell him to another plantation. That's a curse. It didn't happen to nobody else. Give me Daniel 9 and 12. That didn't happen to nobody else but the Israelites. Why? Because we disobedient to the Most High God. And that's why we out here. We got to change our way. We got to repent. Come back to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
For your good. For your good. We can't keep living in folly and madness, chasing behind the enemy, thinking that's going to get us salvation. How can somebody that hung you, raped, robbed you, tell you how to get salvation?
Bring it up.
That makes no sense. And why do you trust them? They tell you and put it in your face on a daily basis. What we did to you, what we will continue to do to you. And we got the nerve to follow behind them and want to be like them and trust the word coming out their mouth. The Bible say they lie as soon as they come out the womb. Get it.
Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. What the Most High say? Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So just like that sword or them tools in your garage, they gonna rust.
That's right.
Just like the enemy gonna be evil. He gonna be wicked and he gonna lie.
Bring it up.
The Bible say don't trust your enemy. You do have enemies, you do know that, right? The Most High God has enemies. Yeah, give me Daniel 9 and 12.
Daniel 9 and chapter 9 and verse 12. And he hath confirmed his word, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
Them curses, go ahead.
For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
There you go. All the curses that you hear us reading and breaking down or that are written in the Bible have not been done to anybody else but Israel. You were the only people brought on cargo slave ships across the waters to build up somebody else's kingdom. And they put it in your face every year. It's in your history books. It's on your TV shows, in the movies. They tell you what they do to you. Build statues and monuments celebrating what they did. And you got the nerve to say, oh, they ain't like that now. Bullshit.
Right.
We stand out here boldly because we know the true strength of this book. We don't care about nobody's feelings. We out here, thus saith the Lord, to our people, following the commandments. We stand out here boldly, speaking the truth, breaking down the lies. Because ain't nobody else gonna do it. That's a commandment for the Israelites, to stand out here boldly.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. Who gonna scatter? And the Lord.
They didn't just wake up one day and decide, hey, I want to go put them in slavery. Or I want to give them the worst conditions to live in. I want to oppress the hell out of them. They didn't wake up with that mindset one day. Who did this?
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So the Most High scattered us, put us on those slave ships. He woke those people up to do what they did. So we can't be running around mad at the other nations. We did this to ourselves. The Bible will tell you that. Because we constantly disobeying what the Most High God said to do. We want to follow what we see on TV. Look where that got you. Look where that got us as a nation. We don't know who the hell we are. Households broken up. You don't know who your father is, who your mother is. You can't work together to do nothing. It ain't nobody else's fault but your own. That's why we out here, to wake our people up. Give you the true knowledge, understanding that our people need. How you doing, brother? We need the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to realize you are the greatest thing walking on the planet.
Right.
You are the Israelites,
Right.
God's chosen people.